Hello, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch our presentation. My name is Callie Lentz. My teammates are Greta Johnson, Alex March, Taylor Meyer, and Rebecca Sordell, and this is our major report presentation on the Coca-Cola Company. We believe it is essential for organizations to identify their weaknesses in order to turn those weaknesses into strengths. We are here to present two organizational behavior issues Coca-Cola has been facing. Our claims are backed up by research and survey results, and then we will present our solutions to the problems identified. We believe that if Coca-Cola addresses their organizational behavior issues head-on, it will lead them to be an even stronger force in the beverage industry. The Coca-Cola Company manufactures and distributes over 500 products in more than 200 countries and territories. With Coca-Cola being such a massive brand, we were able to identify two prominent organizational behavior issues within the company. The first issue we chose to address is job satisfaction, with a focus on the issues their employees have experienced with work-life balance. We originally chose this issue to focus on due to its frequent recurrence in job reviews from current and former employees of the company. The second issue we have chosen to address relates to trust, ethics, and justice. The issue handles the idea of favoritism within the company. We decided that these were important issues to discuss because they can lead to a discouraging work environment if left unresolved. In order to address these issues, my team and I needed to collect data in order to work towards possible solutions. We believed that the most effective method of data collection would stem from communicating directly with current employees. We designed a questionnaire that addresses the key issues related to job satisfaction and trust, ethics, and justice. And we sent it to Anita Peterson, an account executive that works for Coca-Cola. She was then able to share this survey with a few colleagues in order to offer us a more comprehensive understanding of the organizational culture within Coca-Cola. Employees were asked a series of questions through a Likert-style survey. They would answer the questions on a scale ranging from 1 to 5, with 1 being strongly disagree and 5 being strongly agree. We received a total of 3 responses through our survey. We would have liked to achieve a larger sample size, but we were grateful for the opportunity to connect with any members within the organization through the contact that we had available to us. Our survey data showed that employees at Coca-Cola feel that they are satisfied with their positions. Also, all respondents said that they are inspired by their peers. This indicates that there is high affected-based trust in the organization. This also means that there are more feelings towards trusted authorities. Also, all respondents believed that their work matters and makes a difference in society. Based on these results, we can conclude that there's a high focus commitment and high effective commitment within the company, which means that Coca-Cola employees have a desire to remain a part of the organization due to emotional attachment to the organization. On average, the workers are delighted with their contributions and they know that their boss is checking in with them. However, employees do feel that there are favorites within the company. 33% of respondents actually believe that there are favorites within the company based off of our survey. This means that there could be negative inequity within the organization. There's a possibility that people are getting under-rewarded despite the inputs that they are putting towards the company. Our results indicated that there's a lot of demand at the workplace that's taking time away from their lives. We had another 33% of respondents say that there's too much demand for the job. According to USEL, one of the challenges that many dual-earner families face today is the struggle to accomplish both family responsibilities and work. Not only that, but they are overwhelmed by the material that they are being assigned. The first problem that Coca-Cola employees are facing can directly impact their job performance. It was found that Coca-Cola employees have expressed a desire for a more cohesive work-life balance schedule. According to Rainey, initial reports of studies regarding the use of flex time in organizations stated that the practice increases morale, productivity, and interpersonal relationships. These results are attributed to the ability for employees to have more room with how often they are required to be at work versus how often they are able to spend time outside of work. Job satisfaction is based mostly on pay satisfaction, supervision satisfaction, promotion satisfaction, coworker satisfaction, and satisfaction with the work itself. However, emotions and the way people value their time at work and how it plays into their lives can also affect their moods at work, which would affect the way that they think and feel about what they do. This problem is present because Coca-Cola employees are worn out by the high demand of their jobs. Being worn out negatively affects their views on the job and their feelings about what they do. They also tend to burn out if they are stressed, which negatively affects performance on their tasks. My team and I came up with solutions that should fix these issues and raise overall job satisfaction. In order to assist these employees with being overwhelmed or dissatisfied with their work-life balance, or lack thereof, the Coca-Cola Company could provide more modified work schedules that include job sharing, flex time, or modified work weeks in order to combat the inability to make time for things outside of work. With job sharing, there are multiple people in charge of a job, which could potentially give more time for each person to be at home instead of at work when needed. The same idea applies to flex time and modified work weeks in terms of the ability to have more time away from the office and more say in how their schedules will look, to allow them to have the freedom to be at home when they feel it's needed. Burnout is an issue that can occur when employees feel as though they are being overworked and are overwhelmed with too many expectations. To avoid this burnout phenomenon, Coca-Cola could fix the issue by implementing our solutions. To implement these schedule changes, it would be difficult, but it is possible. You would need coordination and cooperation from both upper management and other employees. First, there would need to be an announcement to all the employees regarding their ability to change schedules. Since there are so many employees for Coca-Cola, they could potentially manage the chaos associated with such a large scale by allowing one position at a time to apply for the changes in schedules. For example, the first 2 months of implementation could be dedicated to scheduling personnel at each location, discussing changes with management positions. Next, they could focus on the supervisor positions. For the 2 months after that, they can continue working their way down through each level until everybody's needs have been met. With the solution of modifying work schedules, there are also risks despite the potential for solving the issues. These risks include, but are not limited to, difficult transition from current schedules to modified schedules, longer than expected transition time, and of course, there's always a risk of a potential backlash from full-time employees who may not think that this change is necessary because it's not something that they're looking for. Another problem being faced by the employees at Coca-Cola has to do with favoritism in the company. According to the research conducted on Glassdoor, it has been discovered that many of Coca-Cola's current employees and former employees believe that there was unfair treatment during their time working for the company. Whether someone was a part of the inner circle or not had a huge effect on how they were treated at work. Although this is one issue where it's based on how people perceive others, it is still a common theme among people who have worked or currently work for Coca-Cola. An issue such as this one could negatively affect motivation in some cases. Motivation in the workplace is affected by many different factors. In terms of motivational force, the factors that are at play are expectancy, instrumentality, and valence. With the issue of favoritism, employees can feel as though their performance is not important, which would make their motivational force 0, and they will not try to complete tasks to the best of their ability. Similarly, if their instrumentality is also deemed irrelevant, and if they are not friends with people in charge of promotion or raises, their efforts do not lead to their desired outcome, which makes their motivational force 0. The cause of favoritism can be due to biases and/or friendships in the workplace that may influence the judgment of higher management. There are also chances that, depending on the performance of an employee, there could be a preference as to who earns certain promotions, raises, and/or other forms of incentives, whether they deserved it or not. This type of problem may lead people to believe that they are not valued in their position and there is no reason for them to be motivated at work if every decision is going to be based off of favoritism anyways. To implement this solution, there would need to be a company-wide policy modification depending on what is stated in their current handbook. This would increase informational justice as well as procedural and interpersonal justice. In turn, these things will lead to less hostility between levels of employment and also less dissatisfaction with the way promotions and raises are given out. Ample feedback from management and supervisors would also contribute to the solution that will decrease favoritism. If everyone is given feedback on how to improve or how to continue doing well within the company, they are more likely to see that there are not only a few select people who are being given opportunities within the organization. To implement a more efficient use of feedback, Coca-Cola could require supervisors and management to provide 360-degree feedback sessions for each employee every 6 months to ensure that they are well aware of the things they are doing well and what they need to do to improve in order to get a potential position that they're looking for. As with every solution, there are still potential problems that could occur. The problems for this solution include inability to provide feedback to employees, resistance to promotional criteria, and the potential of unhealthy competition in the workplace in order to meet the clear-cut criteria for a certain promotion or position. In order for Coca-Cola to improve their employees' commitment and involvement in the organization, they need to address the main issues of work-life balance for their employees and the perception of favoritism that many employees have mentioned. One way for Coca-Cola to address the issue of work-life balance and how it relates to job satisfaction is by providing employees with the chance to modify their schedules. One way to address the issue of favoritism within the company is to make any promotion criteria very clear to employees and allow for ample feedback so they know what is expected from them. Coca-Cola is such a successful company, and by addressing these issues, could potentially lead to more committed and much happier employees. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it, and please contact us with any questions.